Hello, I'm Oscar Diveroli, President of Robico Shutters Incorporated. As you know, your new home comes equipped with a complete custom set of Robico shutters for your protection in the event of a storm. Your builder has arranged for you to receive this video to show you the items you will need to install your shutters, along with safety and maintenance tips, and an installation demonstration of each of the 6 different shutter systems that Robico manufactures and distributes. Watching this video will make your job easier when a storm is approaching. I'd like to urge you to practice installing your shutters at least once prior to the approach of an actual storm. This way, you'll be familiar with the installation process and you'll know how much help and time you need to allow to have your shutters in place. Speaking of time, always allow yourself plenty of time to install your shutters. Don't wait until the last minute. The power could be out long before the actual hurricane hits, and as wind speed increases, so does the potential for injury. Once again, please take the time to watch this video in its entirety with all of your family members so that when you need to install your shutters, it will be an easy and safe process.
Before you actually begin installing your Robico shutters, there are a few items you will need, both for safety and to make the installation easier. Taking a few simple precautions will help prevent injury. Always wear gloves when handling your shutters. Although the edges of the panels are smooth, they are very sharp. Your steel panels can easily cut or injure you. Wear a back support. Both the weight of the panels and the way you lift them could potentially cause back injury. Wear a heavier form of clothing. In case you lose your grip and one of the panels falls against your body, heavier clothing will provide an extra measure of protection against injury. Jeans and long sleeves are recommended to prevent minor cuts. Eye protection is a good idea anytime you are working with tools and materials. Remember, it's better to be cautious and protected than to risk unnecessary injury. You will, of course, need a ladder to install your shutters. Be sure the ladder you're using is marked OSHA approved. Speaking of ladders, here are some important safety guidelines for you to follow to prevent climbing-related injuries. Choose the correct ladder for the job. First, determine the style of ladder your home requires. The most common types for household use are the step ladder and the extension ladder. A solid step ladder will do the job for many first-floor windows, but if you have a 2-story home, you will need an extension ladder. Make sure your extension ladder has standoffs for stability. Make certain that the duty rating or maximum weight capacity is sufficient to handle the total weight of the person on the ladder, tools, and materials, which in this case may be a storm panel. Of course, make certain that the ladder is long enough for the job at hand, as most falls from ladders are the result of people overextending themselves on too short of a ladder. When using a step ladder, the highest safe step is 2 to 3 steps from the top cap. Never stand on the top of a step ladder. When using an extension ladder, never climb above the 4th rung from the top. When preparing to shutter, inspect your ladder to be certain that all parts, such as spreaders and shoes, are in safe operating order. Also, be certain if you store your ladder outside that weathering has not in any way compromised the structural integrity of the ladder. Make certain that your ladder is always safely set on secure ground and that you have a level footing. Wear proper footwear and never climb in sandals or bare feet. Be certain that the steps or rungs are free of oil, grease, or residue. When working on an extension ladder, be sure to cordon off the area below so no one enters an area where falling tools or panels can cause serious injury. Use a tool belt whenever possible to leave your hands free for climbing. Also, be sure to look for overhead electrical wires before raising or relocating a ladder. and never attempt to move a ladder when someone is on it. You'll need a battery-powered drill. Using battery power rather than electric will protect you from stripping screws and allow you to install your shutters even if the power goes off. Be sure you have 2 batteries for your drill and a number 3 Phillips drill bit to lessen the potential for stripping. You will also need a Phillips head manual screwdriver and hammer. This will come in handy if your screw heads are clogged with paint. You are now ready to begin. The direct mount shutter system, or trackless system, consists of the panels, aluminum keyhole washers, center span stitch bolts where applicable, and the screws and neoprene washers already in your walls. Begin by distributing the panels, matching the numbers on your panels to the numbered floor plan provided with your shutter system. Next, with your cordless drill and number 3 bit, loosen all the screws or bolts, backing them out of the wall about 1/2 inch. Hang the panels on each opening to be shuttered. Be sure that the panels are hung from left to right for a vertical installation or bottom to top for a horizontal installation. Place a keyhole washer on each screw or bolt between the head of the screw and the panel. Tighten down all the screws. Whenever there is an inverted keyhole center span, insert a stitch bolt and tighten securely by hand. Your direct mount installation is now complete. When installing shutters on second-story windows, it is preferable to have someone hand you the panels one at a time through the window. If necessary, you can have them handed to you from the ground. If you have a shutter system with tracks, your system components will consist of the panels and a variety of the following: an H header or top track, a U header, also a top track, and a studded sill, which can be either a top or bottom track, and wing nuts. Begin by distributing the panels around your home, again using the floor plan provided. Your permanently mounted tracks are ready to accept the storm panels. The removable tracks are identified by a number which corresponds to a number on your floor plan. To install the removable tracks, first remove the wall bolts completely. Line up the holes in the track with the holes in the wall. Then replace and tighten the bolts using a neoprene washer on the outside of the track. Remember to always install the panels from left to right. If your system has a header, insert the panel into the top header, then swing the panel toward the wall, allowing the studs on the bottom sill to come through the keyhole in the panel. Put a wing nut on the left stud only. This leaves the right stud free to accept the overlap of the next panel. Repeat this process with all the panels on the opening. If your system has a sill instead of the header, follow the same steps, but place a wing nut on both the top left and bottom left of the panel as you go. The Easy Hang system is designed for installation from inside the home and consists of the following components: panels, panel hangers, J-track or top track, inverted H-header or bottom track, pull handle, stitch bolts, thumb screw, and stop bar. The panel hangers are pre-attached to the panels for your convenience. Before beginning your installation, remove window screens and use your white lithium grease and apply the grease to the underside of the panel hangers. Begin by paneling out the window. The bottom end of the panel is inserted into the inverted H-header and the top of the panel is swung against the top track so that the panel hooks onto the J-track. Make sure that the panel drops completely into the bottom track. Install the next panel the same way, overlapping one flange only. Next, insert a stitch bolt so that the wing nut is facing inside at the overlapping inverted keyhole and tighten. Repeat this step up to the last panel. The last panel is the panel with the pull handle. Insert a stitch bolt and tighten. Line up the hole at the bottom of the panel with the hole in the H header. Insert the thumb screw into the hole, threading it all the way, but do not tighten it. Your Easy Hang installation is now complete. The life safety system is used on single hung windows, that is, windows that slide open bottom up only. The system can also be utilized on glass sliding doors, allowing you an alternate way of leaving your shuttered home. Components for the life safety system are panels, H-header, panel made fasteners, 2" by 7" plate, wing nuts, reversed machine screws, and pull handle. Begin by removing all protective caps from the panel made fasteners. Install the 2 by 7 plate at lower panel mates. Tighten the plate securely with wing nuts. The plate will be covered last. Next, identify the panel with the pull handle. This will be installed last. Then identify the panels with holes in the outer portion of the panel. These holes align with the 2 by 7 plate. Install the panels furthest from the 2 by 7 plate and work toward it. Be sure to align the panels with the holes over the 2x7 plate. At this point, the uncovered portion of the window should be at the 2x7 plate. Holding by the pull handle, put the panel outside the window, insert the top portion into the H-header, and pull the panel back against the wall. The two reversed machine screws should come through the holes in each of the adjacent panels and the two top holes on the 2x7 plate. Secure the two exposed machine screws with wing nuts. Your installation is now complete. All components of accordion shutter systems are permanently attached to the exterior walls of the home. They are the slats, tracks, locking pins, T-locks, and the thumb screws. To engage your accordion system, begin by loosening the thumb screws on the locking pins. Slide the pins away from the locking hole. Slide the slats to either the center or end of the track, depending on your type of installation. Slide the pins into the new locking holes and tighten the thumb screws. Finally, lock the T-lock. Roll-up shutters are permanently attached to your home. They operate either manually or electrically. If your shutters operate manually, simply insert the crank into the U-joint and wind the shutters down. Make sure the slats are completely interlocked and closed. If you have an electrically operated system, flipping the switch will roll your shutters up or down. While the installation of your shutter system is a fairly simple process, the risk of injury to yourself or others is a possibility. Following some basic precautions will go a long way toward preventing any mishaps. Your shutter panels are heavy. Carry them one at a time. Only use a battery-operated drill. This helps to avoid electric shocks. Panel edges are sharp. Always wear OSHA-approved gloves when handling them. Don't lean the panels against the wall. Lay them out on the ground and be sure the ground is level where you put them down. Always wear eye protection when installing your shutters. Always wear a back support when handling the panels. Always have someone help you install the shutters. Don't do it alone. If you're not physically fit, don't attempt to install your shutters. Prearrange to have someone do it for you. Never wear open-toed shoes or sandals. A dropped panel could easily sever a toe. Remember that a shuttered house may prevent easy escape in case of a fire. You should always make sure to have a clear means of exiting your house in case of fire. Always remove your shutters immediately after the storm threat is passed. You can't escape a fire through a shuttered window. Second-story installations have additional hazards and additional precautions should be taken. Be sure the ladder you're using is OSHA approved. Never use a two-story ladder without standoffs which provide lateral stability. Don't carry panels up a ladder. Have someone hand them to you from inside. If you have a fixed glass window on the second floor, carefully carry the panels one at a time. Always shutter the second floor first. You should not be on a ladder as the wind or rain increases. If you have to walk on the lower part of your roof to shutter the second floor, be sure to wear proper non-slip shoes and be aware of wet roofs. Make sure that no one walks or stands beneath you while you're working on the roof. A falling panel could be deadly.
Hello, my name is Don Bronchick, General Manager of Robico Shutters. One of the most frequent comments I hear from homeowners is that putting their shutters on their home is so time-consuming that they wait until the storm is bearing down on them before they begin to protect their homes. After all, who wants to install shutters days in advance if the storm ends up missing us. Indeed, it is a lot of hard work, possibly for nothing. Of course, it is certainly better to be safe than sorry. I'd like to share with you a method of installing your shutters that will minimize wasted time. When a hurricane is approximately 3 to 4 days from landfall, back out or loosen your screws 1/2 inch. As the storm continues toward your area 2 to 3 days out, spread your panels around your home, laying them on the grounds for safety, and install any removable tracks. 48 hours prior to landfall, hang your panels, being certain to apply any applicable wing nuts, keyhole washers, stitch bolts, and of course, tighten all screws. This procedure will allow you to minimize time spent outside your home as the storm approaches, and will keep you from spending unnecessary time installing shutters for a near-miss storm.
Your shutter system will serve you better and longer if you take some simple steps to maintain it on a regular basis. Remove and lubricate all screws once a year. We recommend a spray or tub of white lithium grease for this job. Annually lubricating your screws and anchor threads is the single most important thing you can do to save valuable time when you're preparing to protect your home from an impending storm. Remove panel mate caps and lubricate exposed screw portions once a year. Remove excess paint in screw heads by tapping a Phillips head screwdriver into the slide. If you strip the heads of the screws, there are 2 ways to remove them. Take a manual screwdriver and, with a hammer, try to recreate the slide. Or, using locking pliers, grab the screw head and turn to remove it. If paint touch-up is necessary, use watered-down paint so that screw heads won't get clogged and screws won't be sealed to the wall. Keep all tracks clear of dirt and debris. Lubricate the tracks and wheels once a year. Keep all tracks clear of dirt and debris.
I hope that the video you have just watched will make your shutter installation an easier process when a storm is approaching. Procuring and using the proper tools and following the proper steps can minimize your time spent protecting your home and free you up to deal with other preparations and concerns for protecting your family. I urge you to practice installing your shutters before a storm is approaching. Make sure you are prepared to install them quickly and properly. Be sure to follow all the safety tips in this video. The last thing you need to deal with while trying to protect your home is an injury to yourself or someone else. And be sure not to wait until the last minute to begin. If you have any questions concerning your Robico shutter system, my staff and I invite you to call us. We'll be happy to provide you with whatever information you need. As you have seen in this video demonstration, Robico produces many different shutter systems, including direct mount, track systems, easy hang, life safety systems, accordions, and roll-ups. If you are interested in one of our systems other than the one that was provided with your home, it is possible that you may qualify for our buyback upgrade program. For more details or to find out if you are eligible, please give us a call. Thank you for watching and enjoy your new home.